Hey, what's up guys? Little man with a big opinion here. And in today's video, we are going to talk about how I train for a bugging out situation. To put it simply, you could also say this is a training video for hiking, or if you do anything in the military, it could be a training video for rucking. Considering the largest pack that I have is an old army ruck, um, that's where a lot of my, you know, training comes from. Um, Outside of doing, a few dozen 12-mile rucks, I couldn't even count 6 and 8 mile rucks, and countless other, 2 or 3 mile rucks during a morning PT. A lot of miles have been put on that pack. Then I have a just assault pack, if you will. Assault packs, roughly 3 days worth of gear. Uh, just this old 511 pack that I've had for a while. And then um, I've used like a day pack, the one you've seen in my video that I did with the bushcrafting stuff. It's a much smaller, I would say it's maybe about a 10 liter. Um, the 3 day pack is about a 35 liter. And I actually don't know the liters size on an army ruck, so let's look that up actually. It is 50 liters, and that's not including any of the pouches you add to the sides and stuff. So, and then I have somewhere, I think it's in a storage unit that my parents have, a 60 liter Osprey pack that I took to Philmont, to Boy Scout High Adventure Camp. We did like 93 miles, and so it's a slightly bigger pack. It's more for camping and less, military, but um, based off of telling you that, that's kind of my, credentials. I've taken other workout plans from my time at ROTC in college. I got to design and implement some plans, and then finishing college and staying fit, trying to, stay prepared as long as I can. Um, I've developed a plan at least through the end of the year that I'm incorporating with my running as well. So, first things first, I would say if you've never done anything like this, um, whatever the poundage and the mileage you set, adjust that for yourself. I don't expect, someone who hasn't done this before to just slap on 45, 65 pounds and go do, 12 miles. If you're training for something, you know, anything, you know, crawl, walk, run is the acronym that I'm going to use. So if you don't even walk, you do a 30-minute walk, then I wouldn't slap on weight. I would build up walking endurance first, maybe throw in some running and other cardiovascular activity, just to build up your lung capacity, your leg strength, um, and then some sort of hip flexor strength as well. So even before you put weight on your back, I would implement some sort of leg training, whether it's just free squats, you're using weights and you're squatting. Um, I would walk for at least 30 minutes each day. And that's like the lowest level I can think of. The next level up would be, you know, instead of timing it by minutes, time it by, the miles you put in. Instead of saying I'm going for a 30-minute walk, say you're going for a 3 mile walk. I don't care if it takes you an hour to walk 3 miles. You've hit, a new set of milestones. Once you build up your physical abilities there, I would then start with, your day pack. And for your day pack, I would consider that, you know, driving to your job. Um, Maybe, setting up, you're doing shopping or um, errands within your town. So your day pack, in my opinion, um, should weigh anywhere between 10 and 20 pounds. And so if your Walmart store that you go pick up groceries is 6 miles down the road, then you do a 6 mile, walk home. And it is a walk, for the military people, you might have to do jogging and different stuff like that to meet certain times. But for this, it's pure walking. I wouldn't expect you to set any sort of pace for it. The accomplishment is in completing, that mileage. Um, Obviously, me living in Texas, a lot of people can drive for 30, 40, even up to several hours to get to work. And the day pack wouldn't work for you in that, scenario. I think the day pack is perfect for, 20 miles or less. Because, in my opinion, I believe in a situation that you've trained for, you can accomplish 10 miles each day. Obviously, if you've trained, years, months, decades for this, then you could probably put in more. But, I say the day packs limit, and it's not your physical limit. You could probably carry 20 pounds for 10 miles for, a week or even longer. But the limit is in the amount of supplies that you're carrying. At that point, it's not your physical limit, it's the limit of the size of the pack. And you might have to make that adjustment for yourself. So your day pack might end up being a 30-pound pack. I wouldn't push it past 40, um, but to each their own. That's where you step up to the assault pack. That is a 72-hour pack, roughly. It could be a little less, it could be a little more. Um, Food wise, I have been able to put in about 4.5 days worth. Water wise, I'm not carrying 4.5 days worth of water. You need to plan on how you're restocking on that water, whether it's a cache you've buried somewhere. You have planned routes home where you know where creeks or ponds are and that sort of thing. Because carrying 4 days of water would suck. Hopefully, you're drinking about a gallon of water each of those days, and 4 gallons at 8 pounds a gallon is 32 pounds in itself. It's not your pack, your food, anything else. And so your day or your assault pack has gone from, I would say, a 30 to 45 pound pack to a 60 to 75 pound pack, just having, all of that water. Um, I think maximum you should be able to carry a gallon of water with you. Um, the Camelback that I have is 100 ounces. I think a gallon is, it's either 96 or 128, but it's pretty close to um, a gallon of water, which now, of course, I want to know. Super prepared here. It's 128. So nearly a gallon of water. So I would say you're pretty close to 8 pounds right there. But your assault pack, training with that, like I said, it's 30 to 50 pounds. If that is going to be your pack of choice for your prepping situation, I would build up your training and endurance, heavier than what you're carrying. Your day pack is 20 pounds, you should be able to comfortably carry 25 or 30. Salt pack is 30 to 50, you should be able to carry, 40 to 60. If you train harder for what you need to get done and it comes down to you actually having to implement this, then your body will thank you later. And then lastly, the rucksack, or you get, an Osprey, a Coleman, any of those other hiking packs. I would put those in the range of, they're 50 to 80 liter packs, and those can weigh anywhere from 50 to 85 pounds. Um, those are the type of packs that are set up for, in that type of bug out situation. Everything in there is what you need to sustain yourself. If you have kids, you carry extra stuff for kids. If you have a pet, you carry stuff, to sustain your pets. But that should be, a micro broken down, prepping system for you. Instead of you having, a farm and animals, you're carrying a firearm, a bow, the fishing equipment or trapping equipment. You're carrying your shelter or the ability to make a shelter. So you've got a tent, a tarp, or some sort of saw, axe. Everything within that pack is the I need to leave. I don't quite know if I have a destination, or your destination is over 72 hours away. And you can supplement the weight of that pack by setting up a cache system along the way, and that's if you're walking to your bug out location. Biking would be easier. A motorcycle, ATV, or a car would be easier, but you should still train for the situation. Um, and so now down to my philosophy on implementing training to prepare for this. Um, I make sure I do a walk, run, or ruck 5 days out of the week. Not saying I'm rucking 5 days out of the week, but I typically like to do, Monday, Wednesday, you know, Thursday, Friday, and just having 2 days off is a ample amount of recovery time. And then for a heavy slash long ruck, doing one of those every 3 weeks or so. So Monday, I ran 2 miles, timed it, and stretched and cooled down, did stuff like that. Um, Tuesday, didn't do anything. Actually felt a little bit sore than I thought I would be, but I pushed myself to meet a certain time or try to improve on my time. Um, Wednesday, I did a weighted walk. I put on my plate carrier, which each plate 7.5 pounds. That's 15 pounds. I took the day pack and put a 20-pound dumbbell in it. So I was sitting at 35 pounds. Didn't set any type of pace or anything. I just, you know, made a loop around, my block. Ended up being about 3.4 miles, and I think it took me about 40 minutes to complete, which is kind of slow. Um, Maybe it was 45. I don't remember. I know it was about like a 14-minute mile for it, and I had water with me. I was listening to music. It wasn't um, time based. I wasn't trying to improve anything. It was just putting in the miles. And with this system I'm doing, a lot of it is just about putting in the miles. At least for the first month. After that, I'll do more of a trying to improve times. That's why the first day I implemented this, I did a 2 mile time. So that way, at the end of 30 days, 60 days, by the end of the year, the next time I do a 2 mile run and time it, I can see if the results, if they were great results, mediocre results, no improvement, if it got worse. But um, if that amount of weight is too much, then lower the weight. The next day, I didn't do anything. I just did a dumbbell workout, push ups, pull ups, that sort of thing. And then the day after that, I just went for a walk. It was a 43-minute walk. Basically, did roughly the same um, loop that the ruck was. I just didn't have any weight. And next day, went to the track and ran, kind of ran a mile. I don't know what you call it, where you run the straights, walk the curves, but I put in a mile. And then, for the spreadsheet, we're going to see grandparents for the weekend, so I don't know if I'll actually be able to keep up with the workout routine. But I'm not going to do, even a weighted walk for at least 2 more weeks. But the next, ruck, hike, bug out training with weight that I have planned is 45 pounds, 6 miles, and I'm not setting a time for it. So that's my plan. If you'd like me to show the spreadsheet of what I'm doing each day, kind of how I set up my rest, then I can show it to you. I do have to stress I'm not, a doctor or a personal trainer, so if you take my advice, you're taking it on your own. Don't don't come at me if you get injured or anything. The biggest thing is I think physical activity is a good thing for you. I know doing these things will help your cardiovascular system. And so the last thing I would say is if you're training for some sort of hiking situation, most hikers shoot for 20 to 25-minute miles. Um, at least for the army, their minimum standards a 20-minute mile. Um, you know, high speed people are doing 12 to 15-minute miles, and some people are going even faster. They're basically running the whole thing, and I feel bad for their knees and joints and stuff like that. But if you're just also trying to, you know, lose the extra weight, then typically you have to burn 3,500 calories or have a deficit of 3,500 calories to lose 1 pound. So whether you're doing dieting or exercise, either way, 3,500 calorie deficit, you typically lose about a pound. And walking a mile or running a mile is almost even at 100 calories. I think walking, they said it was like 103, and running could be upwards of 110 or 111. And if you're super out of shape, you could lose more in the beginning. If you are in shape, you do some sort of cardiovascular activity, it might be lower, but a good average is 3,500 calories, roughly 35 miles, and you'll lose the weight. Whether it's walking with no weight, rucking, or running. When you're adding weight, the numbers that I found is if you add 10 pounds, you're going to burn roughly 5% more calories. If you add 30 pounds, it's like 12 or 13% more calories. So the extra weight will help in the losing weight category. But with that, what are your thoughts on this? Like I said, if you want my workout routine, I'll be happy to send it to you. Just leave your email in the comment section down below, and I'll get you a copy of it. Um, if the information in this video is useful, then share it with a friend or family member that you think would benefit. And lastly, if you benefited from our discussion, then like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.